Good evening everyone, my name is Kirsty Ferguson, I'm PT ASN here at Larbert High School, and I'd like to briefly take you through some pupil support, additional support needs and assessment arrangement supports at Larbert High. I like to always start with this image, equality versus equity, because it sounds strange to say that we're not looking for equality in a school, but actually what we mean is we don't want to just give the same child everything that's the same. We don't want a blanket approach, we want equity, which is actually a tailored approach. If we give all children the exact same support, actually they won't reach their potential, because some children won't need that support and other children will need more than that, and that's why we aim for equity, as you can see in the second image there. And so it's really important for us at Larbert High that we see the needs of the children through their eyes and not just through ours. It's easy for us as adults to say what we think that children need, but actually what do they need and how can we work with them to ensure that their plan is working for their needs and not just for ours. And so we use our OTB system at present to be able to pass this information on to class teachers. The reason why I focus on that is because class teachers actually are the best people to give support to additional support needs children within their classroom. That's because they are trained as a subject specialist, and of course English teacher supporting in a maths class wouldn't be the best person, for example, in the same way that an SFLA might not be the best person to actually differentiate and support an ASN pupil. So we flag the information on needs, medical conditions, additional support need level, assessment arrangements on OTB alongside the PSI, the Pupil Support Information Document, which goes to all class teachers and is generated through conversations with primary school staff, if it's through the primary transition, with home, with other members of the school, for example, in order to make sure there's a document that best suits the needs of supporting a young person. And what that actually looks like when you go into OTB is this. I think it's important for parents to see this because I am often asked what exactly it looks like. And as you can see, this young person here has an AA flag at the beginning in the third line down. They also have a flag showing that they have ASD, and that shows that they then need a PSI. And that goes to the class teacher to be able to open. They can read what is required for that young person and how to support them. And the yellow folder is updated if there's any further information as well. And so that's where we start with that PSI and OTB information, but it's not the only thing that we do within Larbert High School to support our young people, because through the primary transition, speaking with the primary heads, deputies and class teachers, it means that we are then able to support with the young person coming from primary school and pass on all the most pertinent information. If needs arise at another point in their life, for example, when they're already at high school, those conversations can happen at that point too. But the strength that we have through the primary transition means that actually so much of our young people's needs are already recognised and supported in a way that's going to be beneficial for them before they even arrive. Our SFLAs within the school are, of course, are so highly important to us, but not in the traditional sense that people might think, where if a child has an additional need, that means that there must be a support for learning assistant or teacher, as may have been in the past within the classroom. Research will show you that actually that's not the most effective way to help a young person. It very often just provides a false sense of what they're capable of because they're being very, very highly supported or enabled by one particular person. What actually we've done instead is made sure that our SFLAs are highly trained in supporting young people with interventions, and that means that they can be extracting groups, they could be working within classrooms, they could be doing some kind of rotation, they could be working in team sort of effort work along with class teachers or departments, and that means that actually not only are we able to spread the support further across the school, but we're also able to make sure that when we leave that young person to try these things themselves, they're capable of doing it and they're not just being over supported by an adult. In the same way, there's interventions which run within the maths and English departments. So there has been time given over to training and to upskilling for staff in these departments, so that actually the interventions can very often be running within the classroom without children even being aware of it. Or if there does have a situation where it's required for extraction, that could happen, but it won't be that all children have the same experience. The reason for this is because it is bespoke as possible. So if you're speaking to someone and their child is going through something quite different, it's not that one child is getting the right experience, one child is getting the wrong experience. It's actually that those children are getting a bespoke experience for them. We also have our probationers and our S6 captains who have got time on their timetable to be given over to support with ASN pupils. Again, that could be in the form of small group, it could be supporting in classes, it could even be supporting with our mental health and wellbeing. Our pupil support team has always been strong with our principal teachers of pupil support and year head wrapping around the year group like a team around the year group, but we now have our year team support workers who add another layer. This is another member of staff that the children within a year group get to know, and they can help with more of the day-to-day needs of the young people. Our parental programmes and supports have been very popular in the past. For example, our Triple P parenting programme and our family learning programmes, because actually what's very important now is for our young people to have the support replicated very often at home. It's because everything can't be provided within the school day, and of course if there's things that we can do to help parents and carers support the young people at home, that's really important too. We also now have more health and wellbeing, mental health and wellbeing supports running through our intervention programmes in the bothy, and our AA support, which is being led on by Mrs Perez Smet, is actually looking at using exam.net as one of the leading programmes across the whole world of institutions, universities, colleges, etc., that can help young people who require ICT and other support through their exams. So it might be electronic reader, electronic scribe, and we're developing ways to make sure that that is happening for the children who require it. And the last but by no means least, I would like to speak about the support of the spaces within the school. So that is our targeted support, diner, study and pod spaces. We couldn't provide the bespoke plans that we do without these areas and without the staff in these areas. In targeted support, for example, it might be that young people are supported to receive qualifications that they haven't been able to manage in classes. In the diner, there's more life skill support. In the study, there can be small group tutoring, for example, and in the pods, we are supporting young people who otherwise would really struggle to manage with the timetable of a busy secondary school and the environment. And so our focus is always to see the pupil at the very centre of all that we do, and this is the way in which we support pupils with ASN in their school life at Larbert High. We ensure that we don't just look at academic support but also social emotional support for our young people, and all of this will help them to achieve what they're capable of in their time at Larbert High School, but most importantly beyond Larbert High School, because actually it's not about what they're able to do when they're with us, it's what we can help them and support them to grow and do once they leave and have the most positive start to their life after school. If of course you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask or get in touch. Just contact me directly by calling or emailing, or of course you can email in through the school website. Thank you so much.